Hello, Degens! Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I am the Brofect One AJ, and with me, as always, is the man with the numbers, the sportsbook whisperer, Mr. Noah Engelbretson. Noah, my favorite question, I get to ask it 3 times a week. How the hell you doing today?
Fucking fantastic, man. We got conference championships going on right now. Men's, women's.
Oh, yeah.
It's exciting. I've been watching a lot of women's basketball too lately because, guess what? The men's basketball hasn't been on until, 5, 6 p.m. The women's basketball starts bright and early during the day. I've got it on. I'm tracking it. I'm watching it, man. Hey, and I love women's basketball, man. It's great.
Dude, it's great. It's great. These women.
I mean, I don't understand the people who shit on it because it's exciting to watch. I would honestly say, too, like, women's college basketball, like, if you're watching some of these top teams, man, they shoot better than the men's.
Sometimes.
I mean, the game's definitely got a little bit of a different dynamic, but man, the shooting, some of these girls, man, they can just fucking unload. Like, there's like so many Steph Currys out there in women's college basketball. I mean, very exciting. I will
100%.
Likely be at that Final Four here in Minneapolis. So.
Oh, sweet. You should, dude. That'd be awesome. But, dude, no, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Noah, I wake up in the morning and there's college basketball on. I go to sleep at night and I still have a ticket in on a college basketball game. Noah, it's going to be like this for the next month. And I cannot be more excited, not only with March Madness coming up, the launch of our studio in Decentraland with the live stream for 4 days, non-stop college basketball action. Noah, I'm beside myself, bro. The closer and closer we are getting.
It's the best 3 weeks of the year, baby.
It is. It is. And Noah, we will get to the 3 weeks. We do have another Degenerate Takes coming that will cover all conference play and everything like that. But for this one, we just want to cover some of the news that happened today, along with one of the most ridiculous stories that I didn't think I would hear about, especially on this day. Obviously, the sports world, and this being a gambling show as well, we took note immediately. Calvin Ridley being suspended for at least a year, but it is indefinitely, per Roger Goodell, for gambling on NFL games during the season. He was away from the Falcons for 5 days when he placed the wagers. I believe it was in Florida or it was out of state on a mobile app, and yeah, not a good look. The report stating that he wagered about $1,500, maybe $15,000, depending on the report you're reading.
I saw 15,000, but
okay.
for somebody who's making $10 million a year, that's
it's and he came out and said he's not a problem gambler and stuff. Whatever you want to say. Apparently they were 3, 5, 8 leg parlays. We know how we feel about parlay. Noah, do you think this is as big of a deal as it's being made out to be? Do you think this is another Pete Rose situation, or do you think that this is going to be handled a little bit differently? Because I just keep seeing this Pete Rose thing pop up.
I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but don't even get me started on Pete Rose, because like the fact that he is barred from the Hall of Fame because of betting, and I would understand it if he was like betting and throwing games, but Pete Rose bet on his own team every time.
Yes,
that was the only bets he made were on his own team. There's no reason Pete Rose should not be in the Hall of Fame. Calvin Ridley had stepped away from the team. Part of his $15,000 parlay that he put in was on the Falcons to win the Super Bowl. There is no way he could influence that in a positive direction unless he came back to play. If he came back mid-season to play, then you're like wondering, you're like, okay, well, this is interesting, right? But he didn't come back. He stayed away with his mental health issues. And to me, this is not a big deal.
No,
who the fuck cares? Now, I get there's like some gray area if you're making this allowed for professional athletes to bet. Like, there is some gray area there.
100%, but I think.
But if you're betting on your own team, there's nothing you can do to fudge fudge that bet, like to throw it off or anything like that. Like, Like if you're, which is my whole thing with Pete Rose. It's like all he did was bet on himself. What are you gonna do? Go play better? Play extra good?
Unreal. But
To
I'm
get
with you
those-
on this, bro.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I'm over it. Like, I'm glad I hope Calvin Ridley is feeling better. I remember that he was out and everything. I hope he's doing better. I hope to see him back on the field. I hope that this punishment is not a full season, because it would be a shame to keep a talent like that off the field for a full season. But rules are rules in the end of the day, and they got to do what they got to do.
Yeah.
But moving on to sorry. Got something else?
Yeah. Well, and he's got a year suspension minimum. They haven't even fully announced whether or not it'll be farther than that.
And
I think it's ridiculous. I mean, this is the fucking NFL. Like, they suspend people for 4 to 6 games for like literally beating women. So
seriously, and we're gonna suspend a guy indefinitely for gambling. Like, come on.
I'm just saying that's a bad fucking look. Like, you've got domestic violence cases that are only getting guys 4 to 6 game suspensions, and you're gonna suspend a guy for an entire 17-game season because he placed a bet on his own team when he wasn't playing.
Not a good look for the Shield, but they will do what they got to do. Something else that's not a good look for a league. We are talking, of course, about the worst ran league in the world, the Major League Baseball. Of course, they are apparently meeting again tomorrow, with reports stating that the MLB is prepared to still do a full season, bringing back those games that were canceled if a deal can be reached tomorrow. They're trying to put more pressure on the players to come to a deal and concede. And I don't think it's going to happen, bro. I think we're going to see more games getting canceled. I think I was talking with someone that's been in sports a long time and everything, and he says, from his experience and everything, we're probably looking at 120 games. You know, they're going to come to a deal, get most of the season in there, and probably experiment with a condensed season. If they can get a condensed season and it's a better product, that's another conversation for later. But this CBA is a mess. No one is budging. Do you think we're getting 120 games? Do you think we're getting 80 games? Or do you think we're getting any games?
I do think we will get games. Ultimately, in my mind, this is a giant game of chicken. Because people will be more inclined to make something work when their wallets start getting hit.
Exactly.
So,
but
come the beginning of April, when these players aren't getting paychecks, and the MLB has now. I am fully on the players' side. I will state that. However, the players have not budged. The MLB has. But once these players start, not getting paychecks, after a couple months or even a month or two, that's going to make a difference. And I think we'll find an agreement sometime. My guess is like maybe June, July. I think it'll be June or July. They're going to need a good couple, like 3 weeks of like spring, like pseudo spring training to work it out. I don't think the season starts until July or August.
So essentially, what we're looking at, from if everything kind of keeps going the way it's going, we're essentially, from what you're thinking, looking at a season that starts after the All-Star break.
Yeah, I think 80 to 90 games is realistic, because
that's rough.
I think the players and the Players Association isn't going to budge for a while, but eventually, at the end of the day, I mean, obviously, like, the owners are losing revenue and stuff too, but like I said, it's a big game of chicken, and that money hurts the players more than the owners in the league.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens when we get to that first week of no game checks and everything like that. And it's a rough situation right now. Not a fan of it. I really hope they figure something out, though, because I'm already debating about whether I need to start following college baseball and betting on that when college basketball is done. So.
Well, I mean, you should be following college baseball, and for that matter, you should be following college softball as well, for that matter. I mean, both of them are super exciting, very underwatched, I would say. because college baseball is super exciting. I've been to the College World Series for baseball. It was fantastic. It was a great experience. Omaha, not a whole lot going on in Omaha, but it is the home of the College World Series every single year. They have a stadium for it. It's a beautiful stadium. Great experience to go to a couple of those games. I would love to go to the softball College World Series, but that's in like fucking Oklahoma, so why the hell
Who wants to go there?
Anyways,
but anyway, I will start following that more, and we'll start talking about it more, since the MLB apparently is not going to let me follow that. So can't wait to get into that. Now, Noah, before we end this episode, I do want to talk about, because it's March, baby. It's March, baby, and we got to talk about teams that have already punched their ticket to the dance. We have some conference tournaments that have concluded at this time, and I would like to personally send a huge shout out to Loyola Chicago for punching their ticket. Congratulations, boys. Epic season, and really excited to see what y'all can do in the tournament.
Hell yeah, man. And, great run through the conference tournament for them.
Great run.
I mean, two big blowouts, and then a tighter win against Drake, which, they went on a big run at the end to win that. And, man, Loyola's a team I don't think any team wants to see Loyola in their matchups in the tournament. No. Now, they're not the best team in the field. They're not like a huge powerhouse. They're not a 1 or a 2 seed. We're terrified of them, but they're one of those teams that you don't want to have to fucking play in the first or second round.
Exactly, and they're gonna be set up. And as we've talked about this season, an older team, a more experienced team, been there, done that. That is gonna play into the tournament.
A lot of grad students, a lot of fifth-year grad students playing on that team.
But no, besides Loyola, AJ, we have some other teams. Who else punched some tickets?
I was just going to say. Well, Murray State punching their ticket. Only 2 losses this season. Undefeated in conference play. Out of the Ohio Valley Conference. This Murray State team is good. They're good. And they're going to get a 6 or a 7 seed. Rightfully so. Honestly, if the selection committee wasn't so biased towards power conferences, this Murray State team should be a 4 or a 5 seed. They are that good. They might play a little spoiler in some people's brackets. Obviously, he's a 7 seed, which is most likely what they'll get, or a 6. They'll be playing a 10 or 11 in the first round, so they're going to be favored in their first matchup. But, this is a team I'd like to go to the Sweet 16. I totally see Murray State as a second weekend team.
I can see it too, bro. They're a team that has been, whenever I've been seeing them, whenever I watch them play, I know their record, I know what the number is, and I expect them to lose, just because Murray State, you don't expect a lot from them, but they keep showing up, showing out, and really putting up impressive numbers. Hey, they rightfully so belong at this dance, and I'm glad that they punched their ticket early and didn't have to go through any bullshit, bro.
Yeah, and the second team to punch their ticket, Longwood.
The Lancers.
The Longwood Lancers, baby. This is a team, AJ, that I have been riding all year long. You know that. This has been one of my cash cows all year long. I keep saying Longwood. Whatever. It's meant to be. This is a team I have no faith in for the March Madness tournament. I mean, they're gonna get stuck. This is a team that's gonna get stuck with probably at a 14 or a 15 seed. So they're going to be playing a 2 or 3 seed in the first round. I don't think they can do it. However, if I see a 15, 20-point spread, I'm going to take Longwood to cover just as a last hurrah, and they're probably going to do it. I think they'll be able to put up a fight. I don't think they're going to be able to knock off a 2 or a 3 seed.
I'm with you on that. They haven't shown me enough to where they can compete at that level. They don't get me wrong; they've been covering machines I've tailed you on some of those bets. They have been a cash cow, but they also kind of scare you a little bit. And it's been a good long run for them, but it's going to be a short dance, unfortunately, for the Longwood Lancers.
Hey, and for a team in like a small ass conference like that, that's not anything to hang your head on.
No,
like,
you made it.
You made the tournament. You made the tournament. Had a great season. Only lost 2 conference games. Like great season. Obviously, we covered Loyola already.
Yes.
Today we have 2 more teams that have punched their ticket. AJ, we have.
Talk about the exciting one last.
I'm going to talk about it right now. I think is what you think the exciting one. So Georgia State over Louisiana Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns. AJ, this is 2 teams that weren't even supposed to be in the championship in this conference.
No.
If Texas State or App State had won this, they probably would have been a 13 or 14 seed. The fact that Georgia State won this, that's a 16, I think, in my mind. Now, like I said, if obviously Texas State the 1 seed, App State the 2 seed, if either of those 2 won, I think it would have been like a 13, 14. But because it's Georgia State, I think it's 16, maybe a 15.
Ooh.
I mean, if Louisiana Lafayette, if the Raging Cajuns, if they won this, it definitely would have been a 16. But Georgia State probably still a 16, maybe a 15. And then we got Chattanooga beating Furman as the 5th team to punch their ticket. AJ, you saw the ending of this game,
bro.
I had money on Furman, and I cannot tell you how pissed. I'm still fucking sour about that ending.
So I did not have any money on this game. I couldn't figure out an edge. I couldn't figure out which way to lean on it, and so I stayed off of it. And I enjoyed the hell out of that game going into overtime and everything. That shot. Noah, welcome to March Madness, because it just started right here, right now with that shot. That is what March is all about, and that's not the last time we're going to see one of those shots this year. I mean, it's setting up to be one of the most exciting Marches. I'm not expecting this team to go very far. What seeding do you think? Because I'm thinking a 15, 16, 14 if they're feeling really generous.
No, Chattanooga should be a 13, 14.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean they were the number 1 seed in this conference. In SoCon. Chattanooga's a good team. My guess is that I bet they get a 14 playing a 3 seed in the first round. And I will say what I haven't said about any of the other teams really, although I mean I guess I did for Loyola and Murray State, but Chattanooga, another team where they'll be dangerous in the first round. They're obviously not going to be favored against whatever 3 seed they play, but Chattanooga, not a team to sleep on. And if Furman had won this game, they'd be in the same position, and Furman also not a team to sleep on. Both of these teams are very good out of the SoCon.
Yeah. Very good teams. Excited to see what they're going to do in the tournament. Excited what all these teams are going to do in the tournament. Noah, we are less than 2 weeks away from this madness. It is going to be awesome. Well, Noah, do you have anything else to say before we sign off and get out of here?
Yeah, Jace. I mean, 6 days away from Selection Sunday.
Whew.
It's ramping up. It's heating up. Let's get it.
Let's get it, bud. Well, we will be back later this week with a conference tournament overview. All of our favorites, who we like, and where the value is. That'll be a special Degenerate Bets episode. And don't forget, March 17th, live in Decentraland, Degenerate Takes will be doing a 4-day live stream covering all things March Madness, live reaction, live bets, and live Degenerate Takes from all your favorite degenerates. Not just myself and Noah, but Noah, we're going to have some guests on, bud. We're going to have some people on.
It's going to be exciting.
We're going to have some friends on. We're going to talk some ball, and we're going to do some Degenerate Bets and have a good time. But until then, we will see you next time on Degenerate Takes.